course, this iPhone's a lot more expensive than this camera was. I bought this iPhone at the Apple store for $15.99. It's the Pro Max. The colors are really good on both. I like the Canon colors, but I also like the iPhone. Apple colors are good. I think having a little tiny camera like this just makes the photos feel better. It's just so light, and when you get really good photos with a camera like this, you just feel good about them. So it has pretty decent macro capabilities, but it looks like the iPhone 16 Pro Max, rude, really does blow it away in that department. Wow, so my phone does this like weird glare right up here, iPhone 16 Pro Max that I film on right here. And I'm not seeing that on this. I went and looked at the footage, but my skin does look smooth. I feel like I look a little better on Canon, but I look more pale on Canon. With Sony, I look more orange, and just like straight standard picture profile, no log or anything, I look kind of pale on Canon. At 45, the widest aperture is 6.3, so probably not gonna get a lot of bokeh. How does that look? All right, so I'm gonna attempt to vlog with the Canon EOS R100 at 18mm. So it's probably a little tight. We've got the image stabilization on, but not on enhanced. This phone is gonna be a lot wider. It was definitely a tight shot with the R100, but it was a pretty good shot. It's probably sharper than whatever this looks like. So I probably made you mad when I said I can't tell the difference between the photos from this little thing, this little $200 and something camera, and an R5. But just on the back of the screen, I don't know if you really pixel peep, you can tell the difference. There's going to be a more shallow depth of field with better lenses or a full frame camera. It's going to let more light in, and there's going to be more detail on a full frame camera, but it's pretty good. I like it. Personally, this iPhone 16 Pro Max it's a better camera, and I can get better stuff with the iPhone. You could get better quality stuff with this if you have the right lens, but with this 18 to 45, I think I'm better off with the iPhone 16. So I did a really lousy job at explaining it, but the iPhone's just more versatile. I did a really bad job at explaining it, but the iPhone's just more versatile. You can go from that 5x to the 0.5x, the wide lens like this. The iPhone's gonna have better stabilization. The iPhone does have a better zoom range. Like, I'm zoomed in on the 5x there, and then this is the same shot on the ultra wide. So the audio is gonna be better straight out of camera on the iPhone as well. I couldn't have picked a more beautiful day to go out and take these photos. The sky is just gorgeous in every direction today. So I like the colors on both. I mean, these colors look good on the iPhone. The colors look beautiful on Canon too. You might get more detail on the APS-C sensor. It's a lot bigger than the iPhone sensor, but the iPhone is pretty amazing too. Obviously, if I was going to be vlogging, the iPhone would be better because the stabilization's a lot better, and it's got a wider lens. If you're going to be using this lens, if you want a wider lens on this camera, you're going to have to get a much more expensive lens. I like the way the camera feels in your hand a little bit better, and you don't have any radiation, you know? You don't have to wear them, you don't have to wear like EMF blocking gloves or whatever if you're going to hold it for a long time. So the iPhone, you know, there's problems with the iPhone too. Got some quirks there. Puts radiation into your body. But it's just so convenient because you always have it with you. And it takes great photos, great video. And with this camera, if you wanted to have similar quality, you'd have to have a much larger lens. So it's going to be a bigger setup to have kind of the same quality. So if you don't mind carrying a bigger setup, something like this might be worth it. But if you want something that's pocketable, the iPhone is probably your best bet out of any camera. If you want video and photo, if you want just photo, the Ricoh GR3X or the Ricoh GR3, best camera you can get. Yeah, video side of things, the iPhone, I feel like, destroys this. With this camera, you can't use dual pixel autofocus. When you go into 4K, you only have the contrast-based autofocus, which is not very good. So it's really a 1080 camera. Yeah, the sky's perfect today for this video. I think the auto exposure works a little bit better on the iPhone for sure. It just snaps right into place. So I could take a bad picture on this Canon. I really can't take a bad picture on the iPhone. It exposes perfectly for everything, and it kind of does all the work for you. The iPhone's better for a beginner for sure. Saying that, if you're more advanced, you're probably not looking at this camera anyway, but if you're more advanced, you know how to use a camera, this will give you better manual controls, and it's more tactile, a little bit easier to use if you really know what you're doing. But saying that, there's no way this video would be watchable if I filmed it on this Canon walking like this the whole time. But walking on the iPhone, it probably looks pretty decent. I'm not trying to be particularly stable or anything, but I'm sure it doesn't look that bad. So the iPhone's got better dynamic range than this Canon just because of all the crazy stuff it does. It's not gonna have as good a dynamic range as something like this iPhone. See how you can kind of see, we're in the dark, we're in like shaded, and you can almost see like the sun and the shade at the same time. That was actually more drastic than I thought. I just compared them. So this puddle right here, that might be an interesting shot to kind of compare what we've got going on here. All right, so that puddle was a good example because I like the photo from the Canon much better. It was sharper, it had more like of a shallow depth of field, better colors. I like the dark shadows. The iPhone definitely made it look all HDR, brought the shadows up, and it looked really bad. So sometimes the camera looks so much better than the iPhone, for sure. It is a sharp lens, and this takes great photos. The sensor in the R100 is phenomenal. So I would definitely suggest this for anybody who's looking for a cheap entry-level camera. I've enjoyed it. If you can get it with the 15 to 45, go ahead and do that. If not, there's tons of good RF lenses. That 16 millimeter, the full frame little pancake lenses are good, like the 50 and the 16. The 28 is one of my favorites. So with that 28 and this setup, it'd be a great camera. Yeah, so overall, I would rather have the iPhone 16. It's just way more capable. You can make phone calls on it, get on the internet, watch a YouTube video, watch a Michael Relevant video, and then go back to taking photos. You can fit it in your pocket. But the R100's a pretty decent camera, especially for the price. I like it a lot. So I would suggest if you really want to get a camera in 2024, you can check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, scroll through my channel, check out my other videos, and hit the subscribe button because I got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching. What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be comparing the R100 to the Canon EOS R8. The R8 has been my main camera for both my YouTube channels for a while. Been doing a lot of videos on it. It's a full frame camera. It's got a flippy screen. So this does not have a flippy screen. That's why we've got this Ulanzi flippy screen up here on top. It doesn't even flip up, so I have to use this one that you use for cell phones normally. And it's also holding the mic. So let's take that off. All right. So you can see it's not much different in size from the R8, but it's a lot thinner this way. You can see the R8's much longer. It's not thinner this way, but it is that in that direction. So yeah, it's about the same height, really. Not much different. I didn't actually get a body cap with the R100. You can see the sensor size much bigger on the R8. Just this little kit lens, it's all plasticky. It's not bad though. I tested it out. It looks like there's skin smoothing even there's not, so that might be bad, but yeah, The grip is much smaller. I don't like the grip as much on the R50 and the R100. I kind of like the R100 better than the R50 for the grip because you don't have that screen in the way, and your screen's not a touch screen, so you can kind of put your finger up here, different places, so it's not that tiny. It's usable. I mean, I would get a grip for this if I was gonna keep it for a long time. The grip on the R8 is perfect. Perfect grip here. So yeah, I mean, this is a very basic camera. It's the cheapest camera you can get from Canon. I got this for under $300 for the whole thing. It was $249 on eBay used from someone, so it was a good deal. Yeah, I got a really good deal to test it out. So yeah, we'll see how this works out on this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like camera reviews or comparisons or just hands-on, just to look at the grip and stuff like that, scroll through my channel, check out my other videos. They're all different. And yeah, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.